per the CDC and the Department of Health, it's
Yep.
already been deemed a biological weapon. So how does anything
Right.
hold water, even with the WHO?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, the other thing,
I'm not a lawyer, and I don't see why hasn't any lawyer brought this up to put the paper down in front of the judge to say, hello, this is the biological weapons list, and look what's on it. It's been there.
Here's part of the reason why is because the lawyer that has to write that is a government lawyer, not a private lawyer. We're talking about a crime, which has to be prosecuted by a government lawyer.
Okay, so now that we have prosecute now, and we can attach this per se to our letter and say, look, you knowingly now are going to be charged with conspiracy and racketeering,
right?
If you don't stop this, because we all know it's a racket.
Yeah. So here's the beautiful thing about Utah is David Martin actually on his own read all the state statutes of every state in the country.
Bless his heart.
Well, I can't conceive of an individual who can do that, but David Martin is the one guy that could do that. So what he found was basically two sentences in the Utah code that don't exist in any other code in the country, any other state code. And interestingly, here's what they say. One of those statutory provisions says that making that deceptive practices, deceptive statements regarding medical issues is not just a civil claim, but on conviction of a civil claim, on the prosecution of a civil claim where the proof standard is a preponderance of the evidence. This is like a tort claim or a breach of contract claim. It's a civil claim. A deceptive practices claim is under the Consumer Protection Act of Utah, a civil claim. It just so happens that liability for deceptive practices in the medical sphere in Utah is a third-degree felony. A civil action results in a felony conviction. Automatically.
That's amazing.
Right. And here's the other thing that's amazing, that a statute related to that one specifically says that those crimes shall be prosecuted. Not may be prosecuted, shall be prosecuted, not discretionary. So Utah is the only state in the country that has these provisions. And so the current lawsuit, the federal lawsuit against the Biden administration relative to the mandate is not based on deceptive practices in Utah. We're actually bringing other lawsuits for that purpose. Those are being prepared right now. So here's the objective, is to bring those cases against state institutions here in Utah, both government and private, institutional, including the Utah Medical Board, the Board of Regents of the Utah University system, against hospitals, against doctor groups.
Everyone.
To bring cases against medical practitioners who engaged in deceptive practices. And the defense, here's the beautiful thing, the defense that they're going to have to take up, the defense itself will be an admission of guilt. It's beautiful. And so now, as a consequence, then the statute governing the prosecution of those crimes is mandatory, not discretionary.
Wow.
So that's coming. And we think that once we succeed in Utah by dissembling the medical board here, we think that medical boards in other states are going to hear about it.
That's what we're hoping to get to our governor. I mean, we know
Yeah.
that he's an attorney,
And
and
a pretty good one. Yeah.
yeah. So, we want to put this in front of him and actually our attorney general. And for a while there, we were following what she was doing online, but it's all seemed to have, she's dialing it back for some reason. So over the past 2 weeks, I'm studying for my general contractor's exam. So I've had to put some of this aside, and we were gearing back up. And I thought, let's see what she's doing now. And I thought, we have got to put these people on notice. Let's find people who've already put notices out there. Let's see if they've already done it and we just don't know about it, and just go for it. Let's just pull the trigger and do it and go. And here you show up with prosecute now. So I'm very, I feel very, very blessed that you guys have put in all the hard work for us.
We've done a lot of work, and that's why I wanted to, Magdalena was very willing to accept the invitation to come and talk to you. It doesn't take a lot of people, folks.
Well, we know, I mean, we don't have tonight quite a bit, but we have quite a bit of group of people who we've been actually dealing with assemblies for a while. And we have how many states, Christy? 36 states?
37 states.
Yep. So what we can do, we can actually recall all those people and say, hey guys, we need your help. And this is awesome. We can just actually copy and use all the information that you guys already put it out. So this is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much. I feel a little verklempt.
Well, Christy, what state are you in?
I'm here in Florida.
Okay, well, your
born and raised.
Your governor was put on notice yesterday. So just saying. Well, yeah. What do you think Dave Martin told him?
Well, I'm sure Dr. Z and Dave Martin, when I heard that they were coming, in between all my work and studying yesterday, I kept looking. I'm asking my husband because he's a news junkie. And, I hear him popping out headlines, and I'm like, well, Dr. Z and David Martin was supposed to be meeting with DeSantis today. I find it. Can you please find, he's an IT person. So I'm telling him I need to see what's going on there. I was very curious.
Yeah, it was very private, but I'll tell you, you can imagine what, Magdalena, what David Martin would say, what he would say to the governor, sitting across a dining room table with him for 2 hours.
I know, when you mentioned that to me, I said, oh my gosh.
I'd have loved to have been a fly on the wall at that meeting, that's for sure. Because, we have rumors here. Growing up here and growing up in the industry that I'm in, the rumor is that one of the reasons why Florida was stayed open as much as it did is because of who really runs the state of Florida. And they are really force DeSantis' hand at keeping it open because they're not going to lose their tourism dollars. So we always wondered why he was looking a little sweaty under the collar there, but we just kind of have to, how does that play out? Or we have to wait and watch because we know that.
Now we take action. Now we start demanding. I'll tell you what,
right.
the governor needs what he needs is ground to stand on. We're the ground.
Yeah.
We provide the ground for him to stand on because he's a representative of the people.
Yes.
Well, we've mentioned it for a long time. If everybody were to, we were even thinking about putting together little postcards and saying, hey, we don't want this, and just giving them away to everyone and saying, please mail this in. They would be flooded with these postcards that would already have notices on them. But you guys have already done the work. So we're just going to share the heck out of that. Right? Yeah. Right. We'll just share the heck out of that with all of our states and everyone that we know.
Yeah, you can actually go to prosecute now and register. Just put your email in and you'll get notifications from us.
Yes, absolutely.
Updates on the lawsuit. Of course, tomorrow all this will go live and you'll be able to send letters tomorrow. Please
Perfect.
Push it out.
And then just one last question on the Cardio Miracle. And thank you for sharing that information. I'm on the website, and this looks like a powder that you mix with a drink. Is that how do
Yes.
you use the product?
What a relevant question. So it is a powder. And so you can mix it in water. You can mix it in water with some cream. You can mix it in a vegetable smoothie. We just say, don't drink it with with a protein powder. This has very strong amino acids in it, and we don't want that protein supply chain to be jammed up with anything else. So take this, 45 minutes after you eat, or take it before you eat, and wait for half an hour, 45 minutes, because those amino acids, let's just leave a pathway in the blood system to get to those endothelial cells without being interrupted by other amino acids that you get if you're, pounding down a steak or some fish or, other protein sources. But yeah, you put it in water or any kind of smoothie, that fruit or vegetable smoothie that you want to drink, and it
Okay, perfect.
Nice mild raspberry taste.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we have two other people with their hands up for questions. If you still have the time, just real quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mama Z. You have a question for Stanford.
Hi, Mama Z.
Hi, thank you so much. I just feel like this is divine that you're with us today. My son had the full vaccine things, and all the rest of us did not. He has scleroderma now. And I was wondering, due to the fact that inflammation and as you were explaining that, the processing and the nitric oxide helping to release the D3, how does that, the autoimmune disease and the scleroderma itself causes an internal inflammation, a skin tightening, and a withdrawal, all this stuff. So it seems to me that his doctor told him to do an anti-inflammatory diet. That can be circumvented, because what you're doing is you're not throwing more in there. You're helping the body boost its immune attack system. So it's anti-AIDS.
It's a very good observation, Mama Z. This cycle that we showed you, that cycle 1 through 5, has never been observed in the human body before.
Yeah.
Never been observed. So it's fascinating. I can tell you, the scientist who discovered it, Tony Fleary, when we got on the phone with him, myself and John Hewlett, who's the formulator, Tony's from Austria.
Oh.
And so we get on the phone and he said, "Damn it, John, I can't figure out how you figured this out." He was angry. He was partially angry. He says, "How is it you're not even a scientist and you figure this out?" Because John comes from the finance world and no medical training, but just about 12 years of personal study.
Well, I hope I can get my son to do it. He thinks anything that, there was that herd mentality that I think we're up against as well. And the fact that there's so many of the religions decided everybody had to do this. They just complied. The second point I wanted to make was, I believe that we have, as Christy has mentioned, we fought this battle with the letter writing deal in Oregon. That's where I'm at. And then the lady who did all the certified letters decided to move away out of country, and we never had a follow-up. So we got that first wonderful 120 letters to everybody in the state, no follow-up. We made a big show, but there were no teeth in the show. So I think part of Prosecute Now could also help us with two things, in the sense, take that Utah, those 2 statutes, and let's do some sort of little grassroots. This is an election year, and let's see what we can throw in for each state to add some of those wonderful things. Maybe people will quietly support a bill that says, no, you can't do this anymore, because they're mad enough. So that collective is a safe house for them. So
great thought.
So maybe we could do that. And again, thank you so much.
The other thing I would add to that, Mama Z, the other thing I would say is one of the messages of these letters is,
we're watching you.
We're watching you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is an early vote.
Yeah. Oh, purpose
Yeah.
of that.
You don't do what I ask you to do, you're done.